One of the things that I find the most liberating about trying to figure out my personal style is being able to pinpoint areas that are no longer working for me and allowing myself to be free from feeling like I have to have certain things in my closet just because everyone else does. So in today's video, I want to go over some things that I stopped buying to improve my style. These came about as I had personal revelations, really tapped into what I liked, and ultimately let go of the preconceived notions that every closet more or less should look the same. So let's get started. The first thing I have to talk about is collared shirts. I remember distinctly when I restarted my style and decided to start sharing it here online. I discovered French minimalism and Pinterest and so many beautiful collages and capsule wardrobes, and in every single one that I saw there was a collared shirt. I had dabbled with them a little bit in my personal style, so when I decided to create a capsule, I added that in, and I really liked it. It mixed and matched, it went with a lot of things, it's timeless. But the problem came when I got tunnel vision and I started to only view shirts as collared shirts, and I didn't start thinking outside the box in silhouette or composition and fabric and anything. And instead, I started rebuying essentially the same shirt over and over and over again, and that caused my style to really stall out. I started to repeat a little too much and didn't feel inspired by my wardrobe. So what I did was I took a step back about 2 or 3 years ago, started to evaluate the silhouettes that I had, and started to break those molds a little bit, and I've been so happy with the result. It's given me a lot more freedom in my expression. It's also allowed me to open my horizons and bring new things into my closet. As you can see by what I'm wearing today, it's allowed me to find things that I really feel great in, that I didn't see on every Pinterest board. This next one is very similar in the sense that if you look up chic fashion on the internet, you will find neutrals and a neutral color palette. I recommend it a lot because it's a great starting point, and if you have a neutral color palette, chances are things will mix and match, they'll go together really well. It takes a lot of guesswork out of things. It can feel very calming to look at because there isn't a lot of choice. There isn't a lot to take in. And then also, it's very easy to find. So you can always find black, gray, navy, sometimes a camel or a beige color. Those are everywhere. So it's a very good place to start building your closet. Now, for me personally, once I felt like that was at a good place, I started to explore color more. And I really got into the meaning behind colors. I started doing a color series here, talking about different combinations and how colors make us feel. And I started to expand my color palette very strategically, and it has been so wonderful. So everything still goes together, but I'm able to tap into colors when I want some of that. So specifically like the color green, I have so many shades of green. Each one makes me feel a little bit different, and having that as an option when I want that to come through has been so great, because I also still have the neutrals when I don't want to be bothered. When I want something very calming, very soothing to look at, or very conservative, I have all of those colors, but I still have the fun colors and the colors that allow my expression to come through more vibrantly. So speaking about color, the next thing that I stopped buying to improve my style is the color orange. And I remember distinctly a few years ago, orange was really trendy. You could find it everywhere. A lot of people that I followed on social media were styling it. It seemed to complement a neutral color palette really well. And I did a bunch of research and found a lot of versatility. So I thought it would be great to expand my color palette for fall and winter. So I bought an orange sweater. The first time I put it on, I felt totally drained. So I started to look into why, and that's when I discovered color theory, this idea of certain colors being in harmony with our own coloring, and it opened up the possibilities for my color palette in a way that I didn't even know was possible. And then also what I found really interesting is in my color analysis that I did, I will link that video for you, I was asking about the color orange, and you'll notice in my color palette no orange was given. And that's because as I was having my analysis, I was told that it had a very counterproductive effect when it was put up by my face. So everything that I was feeling was true. So definitely I learned so much from that, and beyond how I could build out my color in a strategic way, I also learned that not every trend is for me. And I started to allow myself to be more critical and also more objectively honest, and really start to see who something looked good on and if I saw myself represented. And if I didn't, then I would just admire it from afar and not try to bring it into my own style. The next thing I stopped buying to improve my style is things that need a lot of tailoring. So I love tailoring. I did a video about it a long time ago. I will link it down below for you because it's still relevant. But essentially, tailoring is a really great tool when used properly. And my problem came because I started to buy things that I was thinking, oh, I could just get it tailored. But the work that needed to be done was either impossible or really expensive. So it ended up not working in my favor. So I started to educate myself, learn what could be done, what couldn't be done, and allowed myself to walk away from pieces that needed too much work. So now I only buy things I know I can have reworked. And if they need a tweak, I make sure it's only one or two things, and that it's still going to give me the look and the price that I'm shooting for. The next thing I stopped buying to improve my style is sweaters. And this is very similar to the collared shirts in that I have tunnel vision when it comes to sweaters. I talked about this in my 2022 wardrobe planning video, but essentially I love sweater weather. I'm always cold, so I romanticize sweaters. I am always looking at sweaters. I am always looking at outfits with sweaters, and I wear them a lot when it's actually cold. But where I live now has very hot summers, so I need things that will accommodate for that, and I need to be honest and realistic. And what I was doing was totally neglecting that side of my closet. So I have so many sweaters and like nothing for hot weather. So since I've made that conscious choice, I've been so happy with the results because I've been able to buy things like dresses, things that I'll actually be able to wear from now until October where I live, and actually be able to use them so that my closet is no longer this kind of fantasy, but rather a true representation of the life that I'm leading. And I'm able to go into my closet and not feel like I'm dreading the summer, but rather find things that can actually work, play with my jewelry, throw on a great dress, throw my hair up, and really start to lean into it rather than avoiding it and pretending that it's not happening. So I really recommend that for you as well. So those are some things that I have stopped buying to improve my style. I hope that, like always, my own personal insights and revelations can be helpful for you, especially if you've been following my channel for a while. You might find yourself in similar areas, and my hope is that anything I share can further your style along as well. So I would love to know in the comments down below if there's any revelations you've had. Did you specifically learn something in the last year or two? And what are some things that you've freed yourself from in order to get the style you want? I would love to know. And like always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Have a great day.